views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Open Hybrid, coming to you from Djali Executive Suite. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche every Friday. And here's what's coming up in today's show. Leading things off, we'll speak to Bronx Documentary Center Latin American Photo Festival featured photographers Sofìa, Torres, Prida, and Djali Brown-Cepeda to discuss their contributions to the 5th Annual Latin American Photo Festival. And we'll be joined by 9-year-old Tahlia South, CEO of Tahlia Creations, as she discusses her latest book and philanthropy. After that, we'll speak to Bronx Toastmasters Club President, Dr. Frankie Brown, and Sergeant at Arms Club member Noam Schuldenreim about encouraging individuals to speak comfortably through storytelling. And later on in the show, Bobby C brings us an up-to-date with the latest headlines in the world of sports. And lastly, this week's Open Artist Spotlight shines on poet and rapper Savage the Poet with a performance at the end of the show. So sit back y prepárate. All this and more is headed your way, because now we are officially open. Hey everyone, welcome to Open Hybrid. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche. For the next hour, coming to you back from Djali Executive Suite, inviting you to get social with us online, that is. Tweet us and follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV and like us on Facebook at OpenBxRx Television. Of course, while you're there, follow moi on Instagram, Insta Stories, FB, Twitter, and LinkedIn at Rhina Valentin. So the Bronx Documentary Center is holding its 5th annual Latin American Photo Festival, featuring large-scale photographs throughout the Melrose neighborhood of the Bronx, and they're highlighting both emerging and established award-winning photographers. And the festival includes works from Colombia, Argentina, Chile, Venezuela, Mexico, El Salvador, and Nueva York. And of course, they're representing long-term projects on family, memory, culture, and other social issues. And joining us to tell us more, our Bronx Documentary Center, a Latin American Photo Festival featured photographers, Sofìa, Torres, Prida, and Nueva Yorkinos founder, Djali Brown-Cepeda. Hello and welcome.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. And so, you know, Djali, I had to introduce you as the Nueva Yorkinos founder, because we've had you on in the past, and it has been absolutely admirable to see your progression and how Nueva Yorkinos has evolved into this traveling exhibition. So
thank you. Thank you so much. It's also surprising to me.
It's really phenomenal. And I have to say this because I remember when you were first starting on Instagram and how you were just doing open calls and having people submit images. And I know you did something not too long ago, because I've been keeping track of your career in Queens. And so I've been really feeling the way you've been kind of merging almost like a multimedia style of storytelling.
Well, Nueva Yorkinos, it was always supposed to be that, but because it, came out right before the pandemic, that really put a hold on a lot of things. And so now, even though it's multimedia, even though we have these traveling exhibitions, it's still open call. It's still the same guidelines. I've extended the years by 5 years, so now it's not till 2005, but till 2010. But it's still going, and it's still evolving, and it's so fascinating.
Well, congratulations on that. And that, because you are almost acting and serving as a historian in some form, right? Mm-hmm. I want to talk a little bit about Sofìa's artwork. photography artwork, that is, and your choice in highlighting baseball as its own culture.
Mm-hmm. So I've been photographing baseball for 4 years. And again, it was never really about baseball, but really baseball as a cultural pillar of Dominican Republic, like you said before. I mean, when people ask me why I started this, it's almost like it's because I'm Dominican. It's something that really is bigger than the sport itself in our culture, and I just really wanted to highlight that. So I photographed 3 whole generations, from the first person who came to the States to play in MLB until like future Hall of Famers that are still active. And when I met them, it was just like they're the most inspiring people, and they've really transcended baseball, and they taught me so much. And it's really not about talent, it's about working hard and putting in the hours and being persistent. And that was really what I took away from meeting them and being able to document them. And that's really what the project is about.
Well, what I really appreciate, I'm looking at some images of yours right now, is that you really highlight the intergenerationalism within the culture of baseball, and within the culture of Dominican descent and or from the island, and the role it's played, right? Because from what I'm looking at, there's an elder here, there's also a kid playing baseball. So I'm just, is this something that was part of your immediate household?
No, I had no idea about anything. I mean, I did not know. I knew about baseball as much as any Dominican knows about baseball, that I like Las Águilas, and you go and and it's part of it, but I had no idea the deepness of these individuals, and just all the things that they have to go through in order to succeed. And especially because this new generation of Nelson Cruz and Robinson Cano and Albert Pujols, like everybody looks up to them. So I felt that it was like very important to shed light in the fact that they're just not celebrities. They're these amazing people that give so much back to their communities, that they go back to Dominican Republic and help in education and in health and all of these activities, that they give back so much.
That's beautiful. I know, for us Puerto Ricans is Florito Clemente. So I understand the humanitarian aspect of what you're capturing. It's beautiful. And so I want to speak to Djali now with regards to the images that were chosen to be part of this exhibition, because I understand that this exhibition is also outside and it's interactional. Are your images interactional? Because you're really more in the realm of digital art, right?
So the images, we received a lot of submissions for this particular show, and because it's displayed on banners, I was very concerned that not everybody was going to be able to have their stories told and have their faces, displayed. And so we came up with the idea to have a QR code on the banner, to that then brings you to nuevayorquinos.com, where you have the whole exhibition. Because like I told you, in like 2019, any photo that anyone submits ever will be on the account. We'll make it to that page, because every story matters, every photo matters. And so we chose, it was a collaboration between myself and the Bronx Documentary Center, Cynthia. We, went back and forth which images spoke to the community and were a little bit, less specific to this particular family. And we came up with a range of photos that are from 1950s to the early 2000s. So it's really something special, and it ranges across different backgrounds as well, because people always think that the Bronx is only Dominican and Puerto Rican. And while we have incredibly large diasporas there and historic diasporas there, it's also a place where there's Peruvian communities, there are Ecuadorian communities. And so I was really happy to be able to show a familiar picture of what the Bronx is and what it represents, but also teach to a degree that there are so many people, so many things happening in the Bronx all at once, all the time.
So how many of your images are on display, on physical display there?
I want to say roughly 15, and then we received a total of like 103.
So I love this. I love the modernized exhibition you got going on here. You're brilliant. You're very, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it because I just got to visit. Well, I haven't visited the exhibition yet, but I know it's a sight for sore eyes because it's outdoors, it's indoors. So how many images of yours are on display, Sofìa?
I think it's also 15.
All right. And are yours also displayed outside?
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't really know like how they determine who's inside and who's outside. I know that there's a really wide array of Latinx cultura that is shared in storytelling. It's unfortunate we can't have everybody who's representing Colombia, Argentina, Chile, Venezuela, and Mexico, and El Salvador, because that's also part of the exhibition. And the last time we had these photographers on, and again, they only sent us 2 because obviously we don't have all the time in the world to have all these photographers discussing their topics. But what I did remember was that there was a lot of social issues that were brought into light through the photography. So am I to assume that's exactly what's going on this year too?
Yes, I think it's a big range of Latin culture.
And topics. Really, it's the topics I like. You know, I'm mentioning Colombia, Argentina, because last year when we had them on, and again, I don't really expect you to answer on behalf of these photographers, but if you already experienced the exhibit, I want to give our viewers some kind of insight as to what they're going to be able to experience and explore and learn while being part of this exhibition.
For me, what I think is cool and a through line when I look at everyone's art is that it's like tradition, it's cultures. There are, photos of indigenous, Ecuadorians and their garb and dance. There are, photos obviously of baseball and that whole culture and what it means. With the Neoyorquinos exhibit, the culture of La Pompa and taking the empty Goya can and using it to, have fun and spray your friends. The culture of pageantry is also spoken of or spoken to in some of the photos. And so what I've seen is, even though it is obviously, we have this connection to social justice because obviously everything that we do is a reaction to our realities. But I think it's more a celebration of our cultures and how we are able to maintain our cultures when we're like aquí and not allá, and when we are traveling between both.
I love it. I love it. I love it. When she means aquí y allá, that means here in New York versus our motherlands, right? Because we all come from different motherlands. Pero at the end of the day, estamos celebrando the culture of Latinx. And I'm just being politically correct. I'm fine with just saying Latinos. Pero that's all the time we have, ladies. Thank you so much, Sofìa, Torres, Prida, and Djali. Thank you for actually presenting it in such an eloquent manner. I think we all got the picture, and I hope you guys get the picture. And the Bronx Documentary Center 5th Annual Latin American Photo Festival is currently running through the end of July, and the display is located at 614 Cortlandt Avenue in the Bronx. And if you're interested in more information, please visit bronx.doc.org. That's bronx.doc.org. All right, we have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll speak to a 9-year-old author, philanthropist, and brand ambassador, Tahlia South, who's making children smile in hospitals. So don't go anywhere. Hey everyone, welcome back. Our next guest is a 9 years old with many, and I mean many hats. She's an author. Her latest book, Super Tahlia, helps at the hospital, tells the story of caring Tahlia that never misses her Sunday visits to the hospital to put smiles on children's faces. And she's also a Gabby Bose brand ambassador, selling the first double-sided barrettes, and she's a philanthropist, bringing awareness to homelessness by creating blessing bags for the homeless community. And she also makes birthday cards for the Confetti Foundation, an organization that supplies birthday parties to children who have to spend their birthdays in a hospital or hospice. And she's here now to share more. Please welcome author, brand ambassador, and philanthropist Tahlia So, hello, Tahlia.
Hi.
Oh my goodness. I'm reading off your bio like you are a full-grown human being. When did you start doing all of this?
So I started doing all this when I was like 7 or 8, I think. Or it was when the pandemic. No, it was when I was like 7 or 8, I started my little business.
You started your little business. It doesn't sound like a little business. It sounds like a big business to me. So which one came first? Let's talk about the order. Tell me the order in which everything evolved.
So first I sewed my Gabby bows, then we made my journal, and then after I showed my parents a book of mine, they gave it to a person that made it more of my dream, and then we posted it.
How wonderful. So let's first talk about the journal. So did the journal start with you having your own journal and creating your own prompt questions to kind of like encourage people to write affirmations and gratitude? Because I understand that your journal is a journal of gratitude.
Well, it started in the middle of the pandemic where
Right.
I really wanted to write stuff, but it was the middle of the pandemic and everyone usually stayed at home. So then I made a journal so then people could write and they can talk about what they feel stressed about and they don't have to keep it in their minds.
That's really smart. And how did you know to do that?
I needed to do that because that I know many people are stressed, like my mom, and she has a lot on her plate. So this journal and helping others, it really makes the world a better place.
So I have a question. I know in your book, the Tahlia is the child of a nurse. Is your mom a nurse?
No.
No, I'm just curious because the premise of it being first responders and, you know, a lot of people going through a lot of different things. I was just wondering if you were writing it from that perspective. But moving on to the book, right? So what made you decide to visit hospitals and be this contribution to Confetti Foundation and help the homeless? Like, what inspired you to do all of this?
What inspired me to do all of this is because I love to help people and I'm a very kind person. To see all these people struggle makes me really sad and upset. So I like to help them so then they can get a better life and they can start a new foundation of their life.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful that you already are aware of that at such a young age and that you're already applying your empathy towards humanity. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful and refreshing. And so let's talk about the hairpins, right? Because I want to understand this double-sided term, right? So I know the idea is that the pins don't come off your hair. So was this something that you were experiencing with your hair?
Yeah, because every single day at school, my hair things would usually fall out every single day in class. So I cooperated with a girl that was selling Gabby bells so then people won't have barrettes falling out of their hair every couple minutes or hours.
So this collaboration, this is too adorable, right? So basically, it's like a one-time investment, right? Because if you're buying barrettes and then they're falling out, then you got to go buy more barrettes. And then, you know, it's like a cycle, it's a repetitive cycle. So now people can save money because they're not losing their barrettes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So when we say the double-sided, does that mean that the barrette gets put on and it gets clipped on both sides? Is that what that means?
Yes, they get clipped on both sides. All you need to do is strangle the hair inside and then clip it and they won't fall out until you want to take them out.
That's clever. A string of the hair inside of the barrette so that it doesn't slip off. Very clever. I like that. You really thought this out with your collaborator, that is. Next let's talk about your homelessness efforts for the homeless community, right? You're creating these bags, these care bags, like they're called blessing bags. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I made these blessing bags so then people can have a new chapter to their life, because most people are on the sidewalk begging for money and most people don't help. So I decided to take it into my own hands and make something for them so then they can have another start to their life.
So what's in the blessing bags?
The blessing bags have, I actually kind of forgot what they have, but I think they have cans of food. That's one of them. And I think they have some other little things.
Like so essential things, right? Essential, like just everyday needed things, like maybe soap and maybe like you were saying, some food and those kind of items. Is that, and so is the bag designed by you, or is it just a bag that you put together that you hand out to homeless people on the street?
It's a bag that me and my mom may have a bag, and then we put things in it, and then we donate it to a place where there's homeless people, and then those homeless people get what we put in the bag.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. So let's now talk about your book. I know you said you were doing a lot of writing over the pandemic. So what inspired this particular story of helping children in the hospital?
What happened is that because a lot of children in the hospital have disabilities and they stay in the hospital for a while and they don't get to see their parents that often. So making this book inspires little kids to not take advantage of what they have and also to help other children in need.
That's beautiful. And then I understand that you go to the hospitals regularly? Not that frequently?
Yeah, not that frequently.
It's okay. It's okay. Well, it's understandable. I mean, we're not in a place where, visiting the hospital is as easy as it was before. But I think all of your efforts to make life better for everyone is really, really admirable. And we certainly recognize it here on Open. And I'm sure our viewers are like, wow, she's 9, right? You're 9, right?
Yeah.
And so what's the name of the book?
The name of the book is Super Tahlia Helps at the Hospital.
And then the journal is the Brave, Bold, and Beautiful Gratitude Journal?
Yes.
And so are both these books available on Amazon?
Yeah, both of them are available on Amazon.
And is there anything else, any last words you want to share with our viewers before we go?
I want to share with them that no matter how young you are, you can still make your business.
Yeah. And you know what's even more beautiful about the business that you made, Tahlia, is that you're making the world a better place. So we thank you for that. We thank you for choosing to create a business that makes people happy. So thank you. Tahlia South, everyone. All right. Once again, she's a brand ambassador and a philanthropist. And if you're interested in more information on Tahlia and her many creations, you can visit tahliascreations.com and check her out on Instagram at Tahlia_South. We do have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll speak to a local Toastmasters club as they encourage individuals to speak comfortably through storytelling. Don't go anywhere. Hey everyone, welcome back. So the Bronx Toastmasters Club is an educational program where members learn how to speak comfortably in front of a group and lead with purpose. Meetings consist of practice skills that will make you a more confident speaker and leader to advance either in your career, acclimate to a new city, or even get a new job. And joining us to share more is Bronx Toastmasters Club President, Dr. Frankie Graham-Brown, and club member plus Sergeant at Arms, Noam Schuldenreim. Hello and welcome.
Hello, Rhina. Nice to be here. Thank you for having us.
Hello, thank you for having us.
Well, we're happy to have you and happy to introduce this club that's been here in existence for 21 years now in the Bronx.
Yes, we're the oldest Bronx Toastmasters Club in our region. And we recently celebrated, it was during the pandemic, but we recently celebrated our 21st year here. And we're excited about that. Yes.
Well, that's a really big deal. And quite frankly speaking, this is the first time I'm hearing about the Toastmasters. So can you just share with everyone Toastmasters mission?
Yes, so with Toastmasters, our mission largely encompasses ensuring that everyone feels welcomed, ensuring that everyone can speak as comfortably as possible, and give speeches in a supportive, warm, and inclusive environment. And that's a little bit of what the mission entails. That's pretty much our mission in a nutshell.
And so, Dr., should I refer to you as Dr. Frankie Graham-Brown or Dr. Graham or Dr. Brown? Which?
We can do Dr. Frankie. I think one of my friends called me that, and I kind of like it. So we can do
Okay.
Dr. Frankie.
I like it too. All right, cool. So, Dr. Frankie, as the president, how long have you been the president now?
We just became new officers July 1st, but I've been a member of our Bronx Toastmasters since 2020. And prior to that, I was actually the vice president of membership, and I started off as a sergeant of arms, which is the role that Noam does right now.
All right, so walk us through a session and with, I guess, a group of members or senior members, welcoming new members. Like, what does these sessions consist of?
Right now we're on Zoom, like pretty much a lot of different clubs. While there are some hybrids and there are some that traditionally go face to face, we're still online. And what happens is we log in and we start off just our first 15 minutes of just welcoming people in and just coming in and just making them feel comfortable and making them feel welcome. Because it can be intimidating coming into a Zoom platform and not knowing anybody and they're seeing your little box on the screen, right? So we try to encourage and really create a positive, welcoming environment in the very beginning. And then once we get started, we have two parts. We have prepared speeches. We usually have 3 people prepare a speech on a certain topic that they're focused on. We call them pathways. And then after that, we really focus on a funner part called table topics. And it's just a way to do surefire questions and you don't know the answer and you have to figure out the best response within a minute or two. And then after that, we just do announcements and just talk about what comes next. But surely the table topics is the one that I think people really enjoy, especially as guests, because they really get to interact.
All right, so before we switch over to Noam, I want to know, how often do you meet and how long do you meet? And how many people are on that Zoom?
That's perfectly fine. We meet on the 2nd and 4th Wednesdays of every month. The Zoom starts at 7:15, but our meeting starts promptly at 7:30. And we have right now about a little bit north of 15 members, but usually since it's the summertime, members are traveling and doing things rightfully so. No one's going to be leaving Saturday to go out of town, out of the state, out of the country for a while. But typically we have around 10 members and we've had, even just for meetings, maybe north of 20.
Nice. And so Noam, talk to us about the diversity within this membership.
Yes, absolutely. From when I had joined Toastmasters the first time, I knew that it was going to be a very diverse group. I knew that it was going to be very welcoming. I knew that I didn't have to worry about, for example, me being on the spectrum, on the autism spectrum, and I knew I had nothing to worry about in terms of speaking in public and showcasing my abilities. And given that I have always relished opportunities for public speaking, I just found it a very welcoming environment.
So just share with us exactly what your role as Sergeant at Arms is and what it is that you have to do to have that title. Like, it's a very interesting title.
Right, absolutely. The Sergeant at Arms essentially encompasses assisting with opening the meetings, ensuring that everyone repeats the club mission statement at the commencement of the meetings, just to ensure that everyone understands what Toastmasters largely entails. And when we resume in person, at any point, I would assist with ensuring that we have all the equipment and that the meetings are all set and that everyone's welcomed and that everyone's ready with their respective equipment for their roles.
Yeah, so in other words, you keep everything in order.
Absolutely.
And you keep everybody on time, right?
That's it in a nutshell.
In a
Yeah,
Zoom full of speakers. Yeah. How do you keep
absolutely.
control of that?
That's
He has a hard job. He has a hard job, but he does it well.
So just share, since your beginnings, Noam, you said you were there, you've been with the Toastmasters a couple of years as well?
About 1 year and a half, somewhere within that time frame. If I remember correctly, I believe I started in July of 2021. So actually, yeah, closer to a year ago. Yeah, but that's around the time.
So aside from your role as the Sergeant at Arms, like, just share with us like what you've gained from being part of this membership.
Absolutely, yes. I've definitely gained a lot. I've learned how to speak more confidently and with less nerves and with more ease and with more confidence. And I've learned how to, with the table topics, as was mentioned before, I'm able to deliver impromptu speeches that are unplanned, and I feel I've become more and more proficient at doing that. So I've definitely gained public speaking ability, even more than I had before, and just more confidence.
Yeah, no, and that is a skill set, right? To be able to just hold an impromptu conversation and or carry a certain subject matter. And if anyone is interested in knowing, and I'm really referring to my viewers, July is actually considered the Freedom of Fear from Speaking Month, right? And July 3rd, if I'm not mistaken, is the actual day identified as the Freedom of Fear from Speaking Day. And so I'm sharing this to say, while we missed the July 3rd celebration and or acknowledgement of this particular month awareness, Toastmasters, the individuals we're speaking to right now are representing the Bronx Toastmasters. However, Toastmasters is an international organization, and they happen to be having a convention in August. So I wanted to defer to Dr. Frankie to elaborate further on what that looks like, right? Being the Toastmasters from the Bronx, meeting up with, like, I see the convention is going to be held in Nashville, but it's a hybrid offer. So let's talk about that.
Definitely. Let's dive into that. And really quickly, we are the Bronx Riverdale Toastmasters, because there is a Bronx Toastmasters. It's so many of us. So we're just the Riverdale version of that. But let me tell you, everybody's going, Riverdale and the Bronx. We're having our international convention in Nashville. This is the first convention back post-pandemic. And we're excited about that, August 17th through the 20th. And it's just going to be 3 days of storytelling. The theme is the art of storytelling. And if you have ever listened to a speaker and been captivated by what they say, it's because they're telling a story and you're all ears, no pun intended. And so what we're doing here at this particular convention is we're going to just dive in and continue. For those who value art, the skill and the science of storytelling, we're asking you to come, join, and learn how to really shape your narrative so you can be a great speaker. It also includes the World Championship of Public Speaking, and that's what we're here for. We have contests annually, and this year, from our region, we don't have a speaker going, but there are going to be speakers from all over the world, and they're going to be competing to see who is the best public speaker. And
oh my. This is awesome.
Yes. I mean, it gets pretty intense. And let me tell you, these speakers are packed with 10 to 13 minutes of content where there's no notes, and they're just critiqued on how they stand, how they talk, their vocal variety. And it's everything about being the best speaker that you can be, and also being an active listener as well. And so with that, we just learned 4 tracks. They're going to teach you about public speaking, professional development, personal growth, and inclusive excellence, because Toastmasters isn't just about public speaking. It's about empowerment. It's about leadership. We're in leadership positions, and so we're learning how to work with others. And we're just taking that on a different level. And that's what we want to do with Bronx Toastmasters this year.
Wonderful. And we want to thank you also for bringing it here to our viewers. And if anyone is interested, what Dr. Frankie Graham-Brown was discussing is the Toastmasters International 2022 convention. And that's taking place August 17th through the 20th. And while they will be in Nashville, it's actually being offered virtually as well. So if you're interested in participating, you can go to Toastmasters.org. That is all the time we have for today. But we do thank you for bringing it here to our viewers. And of course, you guys, if you're interested in becoming a Toastmasters Club member, you can also go to the same website. Thank you once again, Dr. Frankie Graham-Brown, and that she is the club president of the Bronx Toastmasters Club in Bronx Riverdale. And then, of course, we have the Sergeant at Arms, Noam Schuldenreim, and he's also part of the Bronx Toastmasters in Riverdale. So, and once again, for more on events and how to join the club, you can visit BronxToastmastersClub.org. All right, stay tuned because Bobby C's Weekly Sports Roundup is coming up next.
This week, we turn to a tradition here in the Bronx that is 13 years strong. Can you believe that? We're going to turn to our boss here for some words of wisdom, Executive Director Michael Maxnabi. He likes to say, Bronx strong. When it comes to sports here in the borough, there is arguably none stronger than the Bronx Bombers, and that goes for on the diamond and off of it, too. Hope Week is the centerpiece of the baseball franchise's community efforts here in the BX. And our BronxNet cameras have been there every single step of the way. Introduced in 2009 and embarking on its 13th edition in 2022, including a pause in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Yankees Hope Week initiative, which stands for Helping Others Persevere and Excel, is rooted in the fundamental belief that acts of goodwill provide hope and encouragement to more than just the recipient of the gesture. Here's a look at some of our favorites over the years, as well as an insider look of one of the latest installments from the Yankees. We turn back the clock first to the year 2012. That year, Hope Week officially kicked off at the Flying Manes Therapeutic Riding Center here in the Bronx. Then Yankees Mark Teixeira, Eric Chavez, Jason Nix, and coach Larry Rothschild joined Public Relations Director Jason Zillow and Jennifer Steinbrenner, presenting the organization with a $10,000 donation check. We flash back.
New York Yankees Hope Week kicked off Monday right here at home in the Bronx as the organization's initiative touched the lives of youth at Flying Manes, a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping individuals with physical and emotional disabilities by providing therapeutic horse riding instruction. Monday's event, the first of 5 honorees on the week, featured Yankee heroes Mark Teixeira, Eric Chavez, Jason Nix, Larry Rothschild, and Jennifer Steinbrenner, who made a surprise visit to Flying Manes at the Riverdale Equestrian Center.
To take time out from their schedule to come here to a small program, children with special needs, especially my son, and to bring light into it and to show what this program is and that it's so important to them means the world to me.
We get to become one with horses, and we get to learn brand new experiences of our lives. It's just like a dream come true to be here.
The team helped students groom the horses and assisted in their early morning riding lesson. The Yankees also presented co-founder Stephanie Dwyer and her husband Bricklin with a $10,000 donation, along with baby gifts for their first child who was born on June 16th.
There's a huge bonding experience for the kids. The level of trust that they need to develop to be comfortable around big horses like that translates immediately into their interactions with people and once they leave here.
Hope Week, now in its 4th year, was created by Yankees Media Relations Director Jason Zillow, who says the initiative, which stands for helping others persevere and excel, is rooted in the fundamental belief that acts of goodwill provide hope and encouragement to all involved.
Every year this week comes, and every year it's the same thing. It's like the night before is like Christmas Eve. You know, you just can't wait to get to the event and see the looks on the people's faces that we're trying to honor.
That's what Hope Week is about. It's helping others, but also spurring others on to help others. And if we can make that small difference to get people back out there and volunteering, our world would be such an amazing place.
There were plenty of smiles to go around Monday, and they didn't just come from the faces of the kids.
Just spending time with the kids and seeing Owen happy and telling me about his favorite baseball stories. That's why we're here.
Do you remember the Yanks and the Glamour Gals? Also from 2012, roll 'em.
From the pinstripes to the iconic legends that wear them, style has always been part of the Yankee fabric. And on Thursday, the Bronx Bombers could now add makeover artists to their resume. Joining the Glamour Gals, a nonprofit whose mission is to inspire and organize teens to provide ongoing complimentary beauty makeovers to the elderly living in senior homes. The Yankees and Glamour Gals teamed up during the second-to-last day of Hope Week at the East Haven Nursing and Rehab Center on Eastchester Road in the Bronx. Rachel Doyle was 17 when she started the first chapter of Glamour Gals to honor her grandmother, who died in 2000 in a nursing home. The organization now boasts more than 1,300 volunteers across 13 states and a chapter in the Bronx.
As a teenage girl, I loved fashion and beauty and makeup, but most of all, I love to make people smile. And Glamour Gals is really all about making people smile.
In addition to Jennifer Steinbrenner, Nick Swisher was joined by teammates David Robertson and Brett Gardner and their wives in polishing nails and engaging in lengthy conversations with dozens of residents at the center.
We talked about my health. We talked about baseball. I'm quite a Yankee fan. I'm 73 years old, and I've been watching Yankee games for 62 years.
It's obviously such a special day, not only for us and the Yankees to come here and do this, but for the elderly here in the senior home. They obviously really excited about us being here and just try and bring a smile to their face.
We've had some special memories with the Yankees and Hope Week over the years. 2017 was among the coolest. That year, the Yankees surprised a Moment of Magic Foundation as part of Yankees Hope Week. Pitchers CC Sabathia, Luis Severino, Masahiro Tanaka, Jordan Montgomery, and Michael Pineda donned masks and capes to meet and play with children battling pediatric cancer. Take a look at this story.
A rainy day at the ballpark Thursday. No worries, though. Plenty of smiles to go around. A Moment of Magic volunteers wearing Disney princess costumes surprised children with pediatric cancer. Shortly after, Yankees general manager Brian Cashman, along with pitchers Masahiro Tanaka, Jordan Montgomery, Michael Pineda, CC Sabathia, and Luis Severino dressed up as popular superheroes to surprise the children.
We come out here and we hope that we can cheer people up and, just to see one kid smile, I think it makes it all worth it. I mean, that's what we're here to do. This is our platform and, we feel like, you try to reach as many people as possible, and today was a good day.
I was so happy to be involved because I know the Yankees always do an amazing job with Hope Week, and so just to be a part of it is a great gift to myself. So I was so thankful to be a part of today.
The Yankees are a great person, we got a lot of young guys here, they want to help, and it feels good to be here with the kids and helping, playing with them and doing a lot of stuff.
It's a unique opportunity for us to connect with people on a human level, really. I mean, a lot of the organizations and the families and the kids that we try and honor are, they're really beacons of light who have to overcome, in many cases, some tremendous obstacles. And for basically the whole organization, I think it's something that we all look forward to.
So very, very awesome. This past week, the Yankees continued to make an impact off the diamond here in the Bronx. On each of 5 consecutive days during the celebration of Hope Week, the Yankees shine a spotlight on a different individual, family, or organization worthy of recognition and support. Each day is designed so honorees can share their inspirational stories with Yankee players, fans, and the media while being surprised with the day of their dreams. Though each day's celebration ultimately culminates with a visit to Yankee Stadium on the day of a game, outreach typically takes place at a location in the community that symbolizes the accomplishments of the honoree. Day 4 of 5 this time around brought us to Van Cortlandt Park. The Yankees Hope Week Day 4 event honored You Gotta Believe, a nonprofit organization that works to find permanent families for young people aging out of foster care so that they can have the support system that they need to live safely and reach their highest potential. Yankees Senior Vice President and General Manager Brian Cashman, Yankees players Clay Holmes and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and Yankees assistant hitting coach Hensley Mullins surprised families from You Gotta Believe for a picnic and outdoor games at Van Cortlandt Park. Here's more on that story.
This is unbelievable. This is an unforgettable day. We're so grateful for them taking the time out to acknowledge us and to donate to our organization, which is going to make a huge difference in the work that we do. So this is an unforgettable day for us.
Yeah, we were able to play with kids, that go through foster homes and just have hard times, and they're kind of at that middle age where it's tough to find an adoption for them. So just being here and showing them that we care about them, and for the organization to put this event on and to just help kids out in need and just show them that that they're not alone and that we're here to back them up. I think it goes a long way.
Bringing this Yankee brand that's connected to our Yankee universe, which is worldwide, and shining a light on difference makers in the community, especially in the tri-state area, predominantly anyway, has been spectacular. I mean, you learn about some real heroes in society that are making a difference and uplifting other people's worlds.
The attention that Hope Week has brought to different causes and charities has changed lives permanently for the better. Salute to the Bronx Bombers on another home run here in the BX. And before we head out, a quick reminder to all fans at home. Bronx community-based organization Latino Sports is hosting a day trip to Cooperstown to visit the National Baseball Hall of Fame and to see the induction ceremony this weekend. It's a big one for baseball fans with another star-studded cast receiving enshrinement. Here are the details. Cheers to legends and legendary moments courtesy of baseball here in the Bronx. That's your look at sports. I'm Bobby C.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. Our last guest is a New Yorker poet and rapper from Brooklyn. Who's heavily inspired by 90s hip-hop, street culture, and fashion. His music and style exercises his poetic tone to inspire and uplift dreamers while showcasing witty rhymes, fun punchlines, and funky flows. Music is about storytelling and emotion, creating an opportunity to share new feelings and perspective. Please welcome poet and rapper Savage the Poet.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for having me. I'm more than happy and excited to be here today.
Well, we're excited to have you, and I'm really feeling your flow. So let's just jump right into it, because prior to even getting on air, we were having conversations about this silver lining that the pandemic has brought into light for everyone. And having gone through your website and just visited the different windows, I noticed that while yes, this is all about your music and sharing with our viewers how poetry is kind of part of rapping. I don't know, that some people may beg to differ. We can have that conversation. But I personally have been intrigued by your intuitive poetry. So let's just talk about all of that.
Yeah, let's do it. So intuitive poetry, for people that don't know, actually, okay, so it was born from a freestyle I actually did online. And I did a freestyle, and the freestyle I say something like, master the word, be it written or spoken. And I call myself like master the word. And my mom challenged me to say like, hey, like if you're, a master of the word, how about you start doing like poems for people, like start taking clients, like people that want to hear poetry. And then she said, on top of that, how about you start doing like, it's actually my mom's idea to do intuitive poetry, where someone purchases an intuitive poem from me. And I basically, like sort of like a spiritual reading, how spiritualists will use like, I don't know, like tarot cards or like oracle decks, or they'll throw bones or something like that to kind of develop a reading, and then they'll sit with you and explain what they see. Mine happens in a poetic form. So I'll take from some of those elements, or I'll do weird things. Like I'll just hit shuffle on my music library, and the first song that pops up, I'll start writing to the beat to that. I'll just, when an artist is just like freaking it out and kind of like creating a bunch of stuff, I was kind of doing that, or that's sort of the process behind the intuitive poems. And then from the sketch, I then fine line it and create a poem from it. And I always tell people who purchase it, the same way that it's birthed in meditation, it may take the same amount of time in meditation for all the messages in the poem to sit deep with you. So I tell people to hang it up somewhere like that they frequent a lot in their home, so that they're able to read it on a regular basis and peel different things from there. But it's been super rewarding to write those, because it's part of my like spiritual journey, helping people heal, but it's also me tying my art, my poetry, my rhyming, and bringing it all together so that people are hearing a message, but not in a way that feels like intrusive or like sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it to a person.
Right.
And I think I'm fortunate enough, and I'm so grateful to have a gift where I'm able to ease a message onto somebody in a way that's not too hard. You know what I mean? It's a way that people, and it's easy to memorize because a lot of my stuff is written in rhyme. So even if you take 2 lines that stuck out to you, it's like a mini mantra that people can play back in their heads and lead with. And it's nice. I'm still in contact with quite a few people that I've written intuitive poetry for. And some people have bought like 2 or 3 from me in different seasons because, life changes, things go up and down. And it's just a nice way to get your message and not such a, and there's different readers. Some people are also really sweet when they speak, but we know like when you have a reading, sometimes it can be very like, oh, like I'm nervous and I'm scared and how's this going to come out and what do I say? So it's a very personal journey.
It's dope. It's a dope concept. And I mean, I don't want to use the whole segment to discuss your intuitive poetry. Not that we're not interested in it, but I do want to make sure that before we run out of time, that we share how versed you are just in the lyricism, right? Because you've got all this rap music, but then you step into poetry, and then I know you had mentioned something about starting something that got put on hold during the pandemic, and so let's talk about what you're going to be presenting for us today.
Yeah, so what I'm presenting for you guys today is a song called Head Up. It's from a project that I dropped called Keep Your Head in the Clouds, sort of inspired by like the little dreamer that lives inside of me that loves to dream. And, I always tell people, don't like dare to dream, because you know what, even if it doesn't happen, it was fun to do it, right? It's fun to sit here and be like, if I win the lottery, like it's fun. So like allow yourself to have those moments, So the song is basically, it was written during a time where I lost my grandfather. And it's just a song where I'm sort of reflecting on lessons taught by my mom and my dad, and life changing in such a massive, monumental way. And just me reminding myself to always keep my head up and to always, sort of like Tupac's song, Keep Your Head Up. I like to look at it as like that mixed with like Biggie's Juicy. So it's like a blend of like, the motivation, but also the home and like the come up story,
That was Savage the Poet. Don't go anywhere, because when we return, he's going to perform for us after the break. Don't forget, we're going to get a taste of Head Up. Don't go anywhere. everyone, it's now time for our Open Artist Spotlight. Here now to perform, Head Up. Let's give it up for Savage, the poet.
When the rain pours, it pours for real. The drops won't heal till your time is sealed. I drink caskets tied in ribbons and bows. Sunny to glow, flowers drip to the toes. It's funny how woes won't wait till they wash away. I'm the marsh pit, squash my sins. Born righteous, touched by some level of brightness. King Midas, magnificent, flyer than the wings on Maleficent. Yeah, heaven sent like my mama prayed it. And with the drama like Mary sang it. About these commas, but I've never traded. I watched the worry hated until I demonstrated what it takes to make it in this rap game. Better shoot your dice, it's a crack game. Crabs in the barrel, lost in the wonderland. Word to Lewis Carroll. Played every part in every scene like Meryl Streep. Check my credit sheet, Savage won't repeat. The poet birthed the recipe that you youngins ain't stealing from my plate. Gon' get you staked, rappers imitate what they can't create. I'm knocking on golden gates, holding heaven stakes, hope you can relate. Free flowing, overdosing on this potion, sinking deep into your skin, shaped by the lotion. We going with the motions. The gift to see is to move the ocean. I hope my pen helps you feel emotion. Yeah, baby, come on. Yeah, baby, come on. Life is gonna pull you down. Haters gonna go and try and steal your crown. But don't you let them phase you. Don't you let them break you. It's time for you to break through. And keep your head up. And keep your head up. I've been rooting for you. Lessons learned from my papa. Taught me how to be a man. Cuff my links, thinking proper. The plan to defend mama. Saga to the story. Hero of his glory. Son, you are the product of my kingdom come. The one who will become sir in the flesh. Chauffeur to the jets. Condo saw her define as honey. I know you buzzing for the kids with their noses runny. I see you roses up the cracks with your hungry tummies. Won't stop till I feed the masses. And someone gives Lady Liberty her fucking glasses. Change it slow, sorta like molasses. Gotta take your chances or the hope is ashes. Yeah, I know life's hard and sometimes you feeling fed up. To fight is a task, ungrasped, so you let up. Peace to my friends and enemies, so they get up. Pox said the best, raise your mind, keep your head up, come on, yeah. Life is gonna pull you down. Haters gonna go and try and steal your crown. Don't you let them phase you. Don't you let them break you. It's time for you to break through. Keep your head up, Keep your head up. Sing the bridge if you know it, come on. Put your hands up to the sky for me. If you know that you can fly, baby, baby, baby. I've been shooting for the heavens. I've been singing all the signs and the lovings. Come on. Don't you know you can fly, baby, baby? You just gotta keep your head up, come on. I've been rooting for you. Keep your head up. So keep your head in the clouds.
There you go. So keep your head in the clouds, everyone. That was Savage the Poet. Head Up from his Keep Your Head in the Clouds EP that is streaming on all platforms. And if you're interested in more information on Savage the Poet, visit savagethepoet.com and on IG at Savage the Poet. That is our show today, mi gente. Thanks to all our guests for coming through and to our viewers for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out the recablecast tonight and 24 hours a day at BronxNet.tv. I'm Rhina Valentina. From all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor. Adios.